Hey everyone, welcome back to 996 The Howl. Just a quick little news update before we get into the chaos of this weekend, starting with the draft on Friday night and then free agency early next week. It's been pretty quiet for the Utah Mammoth, surprisingly to some. I'm getting the sense that Utah's not going to do anything really big or risky, even though these mainstream journalists love to throw out Utah's name with every single thing. They just think Utah's going to go crazy. And I'm getting the feeling like, you know what, they're going to be patient. They're in it for the long haul. They're in it for a long time, not just a good time. So a couple of news items might have been missed in the whirlwind of the Stanley Cup Finals and Florida Panthers winning and having their celebration. But Ben McCartney, a longtime Roadrunner, 4 seasons with the Roadrunners, turning 24 years old in a couple weeks. Ben McCartney is 6 foot, 198-pound power forward. He signed a 2-year contract, league minimum, 2-way contract as well. What 2-way means, it's not you're exempt from waivers like in those NHL games. It means he gets paid different amounts between the minors and the NHL. If he plays in Tucson, he gets $140,000 per year for that first year, so 1 year. And then that second year, it goes up to $250,000 for that second year of the contract. If he goes to Utah, he gets paid $775,000 per year. Obviously, it's prorated for how long he stays up with the club, but 48 goals, 62 assists, 110 points for McCartney in 215 American Hockey League games for the Roadrunners. He wears the A patch on his jersey as the alternate captain. He was drafted in the 7th round in the 2020 draft all those years ago. A bit of a weird draft for the Coyotes that year. Bill Armstrong wasn't allowed to spearhead that draft because they recently hired him from St. Louis, so he had all that information from St. Louis. That's pretty commonplace when GMs get traded around teams. And also that year they drafted a bit of a problematic player in that 4th round. They had to give back the pick or renounce the pick. That no one talks about that anymore. I'm surprised I even remember that, and no one will ever mention it again other than me. Just a little tidbit of that 2020 draft for the Coyotes. McCartney's been battling through injuries every year in Tucson except for last season. He was dealing with injuries the first 3 seasons. Last year, he had a career high in games played with 63 games. Next, we go to Hrabal, or as you know, the announcers pronounce it, Hrabal, which I don't like, so I'll keep calling him Hrabal until he makes it into the NHL. But this came as a surprise to me. Usually I'm on top of things. I got my fingers on the pulse of Utah or Arizona when I'm following the team, other than the draft. I know the draft is so unpredictable. I always get it wrong. But for everything else, I'm pretty good at seeing what's going to happen. I really was shocked to hear that Bill Armstrong in Utah went to Hrabal and wanted him to sign a contract, and Hrabal declined it. I thought Utah for sure would wait another year before giving him a contract, because they still have Villalta and Stauber down with the Roadrunners. Villalta is 1 more year, Stauber has 2 more years. So were they going to do a 3-goalie carousel for Tucson? But then I have to remember that Villalta and Stauber, they're not waivers exempt. So once training camp is over and Utah needs to send Villalta and Stauber to Tucson, they go through waivers. So maybe, you know, Bill Armstrong and staff want to protect themselves, a little bit of insurance to have Hrabal there. If, let's say, someone picks up Villalta, you have a Hrabal and Stauber tandem. And then there's the elephant in the room of Connor Ingram. I've been getting a lot of mixed messages about Ingram. I have a quote here from today. So this is regarding Bill Armstrong on Connor Ingram. From the point right now, it is all speculation of where Ingram is at, and I don't really want to comment. He's a great kid. I know he's in the program. We wish him the best, and hopefully he can get on the other side of this. We'll continue to look for updates. That doesn't really provide much confidence to me, and if anything, saying I hope for the best like, I don't know, maybe I'm just reading a little bit between the lines. Maybe they're looking to move on from Ingram, or they really think he won't be able to play for Utah next season. And there's a lot of people connecting Utah to the goalie market. I'm hearing a lot of that too, which surprises me. So maybe they're just looking for some insurance. Maybe this was their first avenue of trying to get Hrabal in the system to provide another good goalie in the case where Ingram isn't ready. They have to call up Vialta or Stauber, and then Hrabal and whoever, which one of those two goalies stays back, they could have a tandem there and just wait for Ingram to get ready. But now they're looking at, the goalie market and this and that. It's just a bit surprising to me. I wasn't really expecting this. But obviously, with the mental health side of things, it's so unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. So hopefully all the best. But Hrabal did decline. That doesn't mean that's bad. Utah holds the rights for Hrabal for 4 years of his college career. So he's finished 2 full seasons. He has 31 wins, 24 losses, 6 overtime shootout losses. Great elite goalie numbers over 2 seasons. 918 save percentage and a 248 goals against average for the university, for UMass. I'm not going to pronounce Massachusetts. I can never pronounce that state, but still I'm not concerned. He's from Czechia. You have Vemelka from Czechia as well. I'm sure Hrabal will sign with Utah when he is ready. I'm sure he wants to win that championship with his college team. Next, we got the preseason schedule announced, the development camp schedule announced, and the rookie showcase schedule announced. For the rookie showcase, it's only 2 games. Usually it's 3. And usually it's called the rookie face-off or the rookie tournament. This year they're calling it the rookie showcase, being held in Colorado. Only 2 games. They're playing September 12th and 13th versus the Avalanche and versus the Golden Knights. So a bit, underwhelming. I would have loved, again, watching 3 games, but this year it's only 2 games. Development camp is happening right after the draft on June 29th to July 3rd. You're going to see huge, highly touted prospects in the 4th overall pick probably. And then Simashev, Boot, Hrabal, Iginla, and Baudouin will be there as well. So that's when you get to see these prospects, on the ice. I always forget about that early development camp with Utah when they just moved to Utah last June, early July. Apparently, Daniel Boot scored 4 goals in that, development camp little scrimmage game between themselves. I always forget to mention that. And one of the commenters always says, you should remember that development camp scrimmage where Boot scored those 4 goals. But it seems like whenever I talk about Boot, I never really remember that or comment on that. So that's your comment for that. And hopefully Boot and Simashev and all those rookies I mentioned have great scrimmages and great development camps. And it'll be great to see and get to hear more about who they chose at 4th overall. Again, they could trade up, they could trade down. Everything's up in the air, but I think Utah will draft at 4th overall. And I really do think it's between Martone and Frondell who they will choose. Preseason, it's listed here in this graphic. It's listed as 6 games, but it might be 7 because that first game against the Avalanche has an asterisk and it says it's a split game. So maybe that's 2 games in 1. So you're looking at about 7 preseason games. It's still long. I think last year they had 8 or 9 preseason games. Preseason is way too long. It needs to be 4 games at most. And to take note, the last 2 preseason games, October 2nd and October 4th versus the Sharks, and October 2nd is versus LA. Those 2 games are being held at the Delta Center, so we will see the newly renovated Delta Center for those 2 preseason games. And there's one preseason game September 30th in Iowa, also versus the LA Kings, and they released a draft order for the Utah Mammoth. These are actually the draft spots Utah is being drafted in: 4th overall, 46th overall, 78th overall, and so on. So you get 2 players in the top 50, 3 players in the top 100 players in the draft, and these represents round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5, and round 6. They do not have a 7th round pick at this moment. And you never know, Bill Armstrong loves to combine draft picks to move up. They got 3 second rounders next year's draft. So maybe that comes into play. They take one of those seconds next year. If they really like someone that wasn't taken yet, maybe they use those picks to draft the guy they like in this upcoming draft. So a lot of options for Bill Armstrong, but that's it for me. Just a quick little video. I hope it was quick. It seems a bit long, but it's really quiet. I'm so excited for Friday and really hope that we get a really good player at 4th overall Friday night, and a brand new Utah Mammoth player will be announced Friday, and then we'll have 5 more new Utah Mammoth prospects on Saturday in rounds 2 to 7. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, spread the word. And as always, thank you for your support.